Have you ever wondered where the problems in the world today would exist if we had deeper connection to ourselves, others, and the environment and acted from that place? Welcome to the Conscious Action Podcast with your host, Brian Berneman, who believes that connection is the key to taking conscious action as individuals and creating a better world. We are here to raise awareness and inspire meaningful action by sharing stories, knowledge, and conversations with thought leaders and change makers. From sustainability to well-being and everything related to conscious living, our mission is to empower you to be the change that you want to see in the world. Welcome to a new episode of the Conscious Action Podcast. I am Brian Berneman, your host, and for this episode, I wanted to explore something that has been coming up a lot lately at my work, but also for many years. And this is about reclaiming our power, reclaiming your power. So I wanted to ask you, how often have you given your power away? Do you even know? Perhaps to people in positions of power, parents, grandparents, caretakers, teachers, doctors, other people's opinions, to fear, to circumstances. So what if reclaiming your power isn't about control or forcing it, but about remembering who you really are? So I wanted to invite you just to, look at your own experience, to understand power dynamics, to understand that we are part of a society that has this embedded from day one for us. So let's explore this a little bit. And let's explore, how do we reclaim our power back? How do we actually get to realign with that deeper inner strength that we have, that arises from our awareness, from our presence, from our authenticity? So there's a lot that I keep on seeing with my clients, but we need to understand that as a society, we mostly live focusing outwardly, and we are giving the control of our life a lot of times to people outside. So, there's nothing with that at the moment that we can do anything about what they have done. It's about, changing now from giving away the control or the power to external people, spaces, circumstances, to our inner alignment, to our sovereignty, to our awareness, to that power that we already hold. So a lot of times, not only we do it to people that we give away our power, we also do it whenever we are doubting ourselves, any self-doubt or any tendencies that we have of people pleasing, of blame, of fear. They're all ways that we are giving away our power. And depending on, your family patterns, the societal expectations that we have, we get disconnected from that power that we hold within. And power is energy. Sometimes it's fragmented, suppressed, repressed. Sometimes it feels like it's drained or stuck. But when it is integrated, it is this vital life force. So there's a lot of times that we need to make that switch of moving from disempowerment to empowerment. And our experiences, both our own and those that came before, all of our traumas, all of the stress that we experience, all of the emotional suppression that disconnect us from our inner truth, that leads us to then seek that power outside. Whenever our nervous system is not regulated, whenever we are in, stress mode all of the time, in survival mode, we just act on those patterns that we know. And I know that for myself, I had to take the time to reclaim some of this part, some of my power, some of that strength that I have given away. A lot of it unknowingly, unconsciously, and some of it consciously. And I think that as well, like I see this so many times with so many people. This has been recently coming up with a lot of my clients that have decided to not give their power away anymore to their doctors because they've been on a health, or as some call it, a sickness journey, and they've been led to believe that they need to keep on relying only on the external and that they cannot do anything. And when they stopped and they started to reconnect with their own power, and that doesn't mean disregarding what others say or others with experience say or people with knowledge say. That just means reclaiming some of their power to be able to understand, oh, this doesn't feel like the thing that I want to do, or actually this, yes. Trusting that inner knowing, trusting that intuition, trusting their inner sense of power, because that also starts to restore their energy flow, and that also is part of how we heal. When we take our power back, when we start to integrate those aspects that we have lost. So I've been seeing this so much through, the last couple of weeks, but as well throughout years and years of working with people. We give so much of our power out or away. I see this a lot of times as well, through the years teaching at university, that a lot of times, the students, in a sense, put you in a position of power unconsciously, again, power dynamics, but they keep on waiting for me to give the answers or to show them instead of understanding that I might be there to facilitate, to guide them, to share some perspectives, but their power is within. And I try all the time to keep on doing that, to give them the power. The same as when people come for a healing, I keep on telling them, and I have explored this on the podcast so many times, they are healing themselves. I'm there facilitating their own healing. It is not me healing them. It is me being part of the process of support for them to heal themselves. And that is a huge difference, at least for me. Because it's not the same for me if I go to someone to heal me than if I go to someone just to facilitate me healing myself. And that is huge. That's a small difference because in a sense I'm doing the same. I'm going to see a person for a healing or I'm going for a session with someone, but it's not because I feel disempowered and I'm giving them the power. It's because I know that in that moment I might be needing some extra support or someone to hold space for me or someone to share a different perspective or some energy that allows me to heal myself. So I invite you to see as I'm talking how many times or how do you do this in your own life? Because when the life force is flowing, and like a lot of the ancient traditions talk about this, the chi, the prana, however we want to call it, this life force moves. And when it moves freely because we are powered, we are empowered, we are in harmony with nature, we are in harmony with everything, with ourselves, with others, and it's a beautiful thing to see a lot of times. So, awareness, a lot of times, as I keep on talking, awareness and presence is one of the best ways to start to reclaim that power. That can be the first step. Just noticing your tendencies, noticing your thoughts, noticing your emotions, noticing your patterns, your judgments, everything, and trying not to judge it, just noticing. Because we need to make this shift from victimhood to responsibility. Not to blame ourselves or others, but to move to that place of responsibility, to have the ability to respond. A lot of times I talk about this, moving from reaction to responding. When we have that ability to respond, then things change. And when we are able to actually understand what we've been doing and how we've been doing it, not blaming, just noticing so that then we can do something about it. So I invite you, and if you want, perhaps even you can close your eyes and take a deep breath and ask yourself, where am I giving my power away today? Or where have I given my power away today? Just asking, seeing if that comes up somehow. And also ask yourself, what would it feel like to call that energy back? Everything that you've been giving away, how does it feel to reclaim it, to bring it back to yourself? That is part of how we reclaim our power. There's different ways of working with it. One is just making the switch from understanding that we are unconsciously giving it away, so bringing it back. But also creating, and being mindful of creating boundaries, learning to say no, but from a place of love, not from a place of fear. Being able to understand, like I'm being aware of the energies. And this, the more that we do practices that support our energetic awareness, the easier it is to understand when we're giving away and where we are reclaiming. You know, when we're doing grounding practices, just putting our feet on the ground, connecting with nature, or even cleansing the spaces that we are. I use a lot of Palo Santo to clear the energies in the spaces. So using those type of tools can help. Any somatic practices, mindful, gentle movement, breath work, sound, using your voice to reclaim that energy that is being held in the body. Expressing yourself authentically, like speaking your truth, even when your voice is shaking, even when it feels like you can't. I have talked about this on other episodes. Check that out, especially because of this topic. I'm choosing presence all of the time. You know, each moment that you're here, each moment that you're present, each breath, each step that you take, it's a declaration of your sovereignty, of being here, present. And when you reclaim your power, and I see this so much in family constellation work, in ancestral healing work, the ripple effect is amazing. When you reclaim your power, you naturally uplift others. And it's a collective healing for your family, for your lineage, for your community, for all of us, really. When we are doing this with balance, with more of the integrated masculine and feminine aspects, as I have talked about this many times during the podcast, understanding the doing and the being, the strength and the softness, all of it. We don't need to force all of it. We can be soft about it, but we need to find the right balance for us. So understanding how the world around you gets this ripple effect when you start to reclaim your power. Every time that I'm doing a family constellation session, I feel a lot of times this. There is this sense of reclaiming that which we didn't even know that was missing. Parts that are there unconsciously that we have taken on that are no longer needed. So I invite you to notice more and more and more, because reclaiming your power is not about becoming more. It's about remembering who you already are. I tell so many times to people when I work with them, I see the wholeness, I see the perfection, I see that aspect that is full. And we need to reclaim the aspects and the parts that have been missing because we have been giving them away consciously or unconsciously. And I try not to judge what I have done, again, whether it has been conscious or unconsciously done, because I cannot do anything about that. What I can do is something about this moment. From this moment forward, I can choose. I can choose differently. I can choose to reclaim my power. I can choose to be that version or closer to that version of myself that is whole, that is complete, that is perfect. To encourage you to take one small step today, this week, to reconnect with your power. Maybe through some boundaries or some practices or taking a pause or talking your truth. Maybe just inquiring what's happening and reflect and reclaim. And this isn't about then holding power over others. It's about reclaiming your own power, to stand in your truth, to stand in your power, to stand your ground, so that you can be you, because no one else is you. As always, I would love to know, what did you hear? What resonated with you? Have you already done part of this work? Have you already been reclaiming your power? Have you noticed where you're giving away your power, to who you've been giving your power away? I invite you to notice, and as always, comment whatever it is that you're finding in this episode. Let us know. If you wanted to explore more of this, as always, you can check out how all of these other people have been working with me, one-on-one sessions, person online. It doesn't matter. If there's something that resonates and you want to explore further, just reach out, go to the website and check it out. But as always, thank you for being there. Until the next episode, bye!
What did you like the most about this episode? Take a moment to think about what change you can make in your life today.
Share your conscious action on social media using #ConsciousAction and tagging @ConsciousActionNZ so we can celebrate your impact on the world and create a ripple effect.
One easy action we would love for you to take right now is to share, like, and subscribe to this podcast. This will help us get these messages out into the world and inspire more people to take conscious action in their own lives, contributing to the better world we hope for.